Ahoy ahoy fellow bookworms, my name is Caroline and I like to read books, but I am currently attempting to write one, so let's talk about that. Welcome to my ridiculously messy desk, everybody. Right now it is 4 PM on day 2 of Nanowrimo and my word count is at about 356 words. So I'm not off to the best start, but at least I have something on the page, so I'm happy about that. I'm really only just getting into the swing of things now because yesterday I did sit down and start writing. I was writing my prologue where we meet one of my characters and I was enjoying it and I was writing, but then I wrote this sentence where I said something about, but that was pretty typical of blank, and I wanted to put the name of the city in there and I realized I didn't know the name of the city that they were in. I just completely blanked. I hadn't thought of that in all my planning and I was like, holy fuck. So I went back to my journal, I started writing a list of all the possible places that this could take place in. I went online to a fantasy name generator, which is like the best thing ever. Started writing down a bunch of cool place names and I came up with a few, so that was good. But then I realized there's a few other things that I really need to just have in order before I start writing. One of them is obviously place names and like the geography of my world, which I think I have pretty down now. The other big one for me was gods and religion and stuff, because I had this scene idea the other day and I was thinking about it. And when I was thinking about it, one of the characters swore and was like, oh fuck. And then I started thinking about that and I was like, wait, how do my characters swear in this world? Like, do they say the F word or do they curse by saying, you know, oh gods, or do they actually curse using their gods' names? And if they do, what are their gods' names? So I went to my journal. I decided I wanted to keep it pretty simple, but I spent yesterday kind of figuring out that system so that when I started writing, I just didn't have to worry about it. This isn't the final page, but this is my page of like gods when I was working everything out. So I should probably get back to writing, but I'm not very good at vlogging, so yeah, that's that for now. It is now the 3rd of November at about 3 PM. I just got back from lunch with my brother and sister and my word count is still sitting at around 600 words, so I'm not really excelling at that. I'm just now sitting down to write for the day, but I feel kind of better about it. I feel like I'm going into this with a good idea of what I want to say today, whereas yesterday I was just sitting down and I was like, I'll just write and like do whatever I want. And that's probably why I didn't write much, whereas today I know that I want to write my prologue, I know how I want to introduce my character, I know that I want to talk about like the markets in my city and stuff like that, and I know what I want to say, so I feel like that's going to be really good, but we'll see how I go. I'm still finding it really hard to, I don't know, just say things. Like I have these images in my head and then I try to write them and it's like so ham-fisted and weird, and I'm just finding it really hard, but I'm having fun doing it, so at least that is something. I am going to do some writing now, but I will update you guys soon. Yeah, your girl made it to 1,000 words. It's now 7:10 on the 3rd of November and I have written 1,400 words, so I'm pretty happy with myself. I definitely got on a roll with things today, and once I started writing I just kept going, and it's still like prologue material, so it's not quite my actual story yet, it's more the setup for it, so there's still a lot to go before I really get into stuff. But I'm definitely happy that I'm writing and I'm finding it a lot easier to write because I feel like that's an accomplishment. I'm gonna have some dinner now and I don't think I'm gonna write anymore after dinner because on the 5th, so this Sunday, it is my birthday, so I really don't want to push things now and end up sore on the day of my birthday because that would really fucking suck. So yeah, that's day 3 done for me and I'm actually feeling okay. Now it's day 4, it's 11:30 AM and my word count is at 2,236 words, so I am really happy about that. I think initially it was kind of hard to write, or not really hard, but just slightly harder to write because it was all description. I was like setting the scene and introducing the world, and so there was a lot of information to get down and that made it a little bit more difficult. But now I've gotten to dialogue, I'm having some banter between my characters, it's a bit more fun and it just flows a lot better, so it's fun to write. And I found that once I started writing dialogue, it just like it all came out, I was just writing. It was much easier and a lot of fun, and so my word count is going up. But now I do need to take a bit of a break. I have my slightly nice face on because I actually need to film a regular video for my channel, and then I have friends coming over tonight. We're just gonna like hang out, play some Dungeons and Dragons and all that, so I'm probably not gonna get a whole heap of writing done today, but I'm okay with that. I finished filming, so now I'm back in my jumper that does the arm flapping thing, but the whole time I was filming, I was like thinking about what I wanted to write, and basically I can't stop thinking about like my tavern scene that I have planned for later. So at the moment my two main characters are separated and they haven't met yet, and I'm writing like separate stories about them, and eventually they're gonna meet and become friends and stuff. And one of my key scenes is that they are at the tavern together, and that's when they really start to get to know each other, and you know, the walls start coming down and a friendship starts blossoming. But at the moment I've been writing the separate scenes, and I just can't stop thinking about this tavern scene. And so while I was filming, I was coming up with all these ideas for the tavern and like the dialogue and what does the tavern look like, and you know, what do people say and what songs are sung while they're eating their dinner and stuff like this. So now I'm thinking that I just need to like sit down at my computer and write this fucking tavern scene, get it all out of my head and on the page, and it'll be really good and it'll be really great for my characters, and I'll have it done and I'll be able to stop thinking about it, because at the moment I just keep adding to it in my head and I'm like, this is great material, but also I need to write it. So I'm done filming, so I'm gonna go do some writing. It's 3:15 and I just made it to 2,500 words, and I am honestly so fucking proud of myself. I know it's not nearly as much as you're meant to be at by this stage in Nanowrimo because it's day 4, so you're meant to have quite a lot more words than that, but I still feel really proud just because I thought I would be really struggling, and I'm definitely not doing as much as I should be, but I'm still really excited. Like, my head isn't that sore. I've definitely got a bit of a headache, but I'm doing okay and I'm getting words on the page, and I'm actually reasonably happy with what I'm putting down. Like, they're not the best quality things that I've ever written, but they're still something, so that's good. But I feel like this is a good place to stop for the day. But 2,500, I'm pretty happy. Hey guys, it's the 6th of November, it's 11:30 a.m. I am cozy in bed, it's raining outside and there's thunder, and I really don't want to get up, so I think I'm gonna spend a bit of time reading. At the moment I am reading gotta stretch. At the moment I'm reading One Day We'll All Be Dead and None of This Will Matter by Sachi Cool. It's a bunch of essays, so I'm thinking I might just read one more essay and then I will get up and do some writing. Yesterday was my birthday, so I went out and did stuff with my family and had a really nice lunch and just had a generally nice day. So I did absolutely no writing for Nanowrimo, so hopefully I can make up for that today and tomorrow. My head's feeling pretty sore. It's 4 p.m. I just passed 3,000 words, which is pretty good. I'm actually feeling okay about that. It's not where I want to be. I want to be much further along. I want to have that day where I write like 1,000 or 2,000 words and just really kill it for one day. That's what I want to do, but apparently that day is not today, so I just want to go have a shower and then relax for a while. Maybe I will do some more writing later on in the evening, but perhaps not. We'll see how I go, but for now, I think I'm done. It's now day 7, so it's the 7th of November, it's 2:30 p.m, and I am very close to reaching 4,000 words, but look how messy I have let my desk get. Like, it was never really clean to begin with, but still, ridiculous. I definitely wish I was further along with my writing at this point, but also, I don't know why I expected this to be easy for me. Like, I haven't sat down at my computer and actually written a story or tried writing a book for at least 2 years. So I don't know why I expected that when I did NaNoWriMo, I would be able to sit at my computer and just type and be like, here are words, images are flowing from my fingers, here is some beautiful writing for you. Like, there was no way that was going to happen, but for some reason I expected that it would, so I'm probably where I should be. But what I am enjoying is that for every like 500 words I put on the page, I get such a great understanding of my world. Like, I was writing about the marketplace in the capital city the other day, and I started thinking about the world, and I was like, where do the merchants come from? Like, where do they get their goods? What part of the world do they come from? Are there other continents? And I started like expanding my knowledge of the world. I started thinking about the coins they would use and whether there were guards watching to make sure the nobles didn't get ripped off and stuff like that. And as I thought, I realized it was really good that as I wrote, my knowledge of my world was expanding. So like, that's been really good, but it is kind of funny how hard I'm finding it to write. I felt like too much of my vlog was taking place at my desk, so now we're in my reading chair, and look at the cute little prints I have up there. It's reading glasses. Get it? Reading glasses. I thought it would be kind of fun to share with you guys some of the weird Google searches I've made while I've been writing, because I will be writing and I will hit like a random brick wall in my mind where suddenly I just won't be able to think of a particular word. In the first couple of days, I was getting stumped a lot more often, but one of the big ones was that I couldn't think of the word cobblestones. Like, I just couldn't think of it. So while I was writing, instead of Googling it or instead of taking that minute to just think of it, I wrote brick rock in place and I bolded it so that I could come back and change it. Because I was like, it's rocks used as bricks, it makes sense. And like 5 minutes later, I thought of the word cobblestones and changed it, but it was just the stupidest fucking thing. A lot of what I Google is name generators because I have been using fantasy name generators so much for inspiration. I Googled what to call slums because I was really struggling to think of a name for like the crappy part of town. You know, in I think it's Six of Crows, the like shitty part of town is called the Barrel, and I wanted something like that, but apparently when you Google what a slum's called, it just comes up with slums and names of famous slums. So, do not recommend. I did a lot of Googling about face shapes because I described my main character as having a round face, and then I was like, wait, how round is a round face? And I Googled it and I was like, no, okay, she has an oval face instead. So I did a bit of research on that. I Googled place where smells hang around because I was describing my marketplace and I wanted to describe like the spices and how once you smell them, they kind of stay with you. And instead of just thinking about it for like a minute and coming up with a nice metaphor or something like that, I Googled it, and I would say that is the most useless Google search I have ever done because it gave me no information at all. There's more I could share, but I don't want this vlog to go for a crazy amount of time, and I am kind of just putting off writing, so I might try and get some more writing done, but we will see how I go. Check out my Harry Potter jumper, guys! It is so comfortable and it's meant to be pajamas, but I pretty much live in it now. It's now 1 PM on Wednesday, the 8th of November, and I have only written 300 words today, so that's just fucking great. At the moment, I'm blaming my lack of writing on my injury because I have a burn on one of, oh, I should not show it like that. I have a burn on one of my fingers. Basically, the other night I made dinner, and as I was getting the garlic bread out of the oven, I made the mistake of just touching the tray a little bit, and what I've ended up with is a surprisingly painful burn on my finger. So that is not the greatest thing ever, and pretty much sums up the kind of adult that I've become. Honestly though, I just kind of don't feel like writing today at all. Every other day I've been excited to sit at my computer and write, even if it's just a little bit, and today's the first day where I don't feel like doing that at all. I really just want to like sit in my chair and read, or just go on my computer and watch YouTube videos and just not write. I'm thinking I might write later if I feel like it, but at the moment I don't, so I'm not gonna force myself to. So that probably makes this a really boring conclusion to my like first week of NaNoWriMo vlog, but it's just the way I'm feeling and there's nothing I can do about that. But I would really love to hear how you guys are feeling about NaNoWriMo if you're participating, so, you know, let me know down in the comments and all that stuff. I'll be uploading another vlog in a week with hopefully some more interesting stuff to say as I get further and further into my story. But other than that, I upload videos Wednesdays, Saturdays, sometimes Mondays as well, so be sure to like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Toodaloo.